Today we have the Junior Ibrida, Alfa Romeo's smallest SUV, and it sits below the Tonale in their lineup. The Junior we have here is a mild hybrid, but it also comes with a fully electric battery, and it's Alfa's first foray into the burgeoning EV market. The Junior should have been called the Milano, after of course the city where the brand originated. But in stepped the Italian government and they said no, because that would be illegal, because the car's actually manufactured in Poland, along with some of its Stellantis cousins. And so, the replacement Junior name is, instead, a nod to Alfa's 1966 classic coupe, the GT 1300 Junior. The Junior designation carried on being used for a range of entry-level Alfas in the 60s and 70s, which had smaller engines than their GT or GTV big brothers, while still retaining the glamorous look and excellent handling that the brand was known for. And so, in 2025, we have the return of the Junior, aiming at that same entry-level market. Evidently, this is not the Alfa Romeo of old. When we think of Alfa's DNA, we look for the cuore sportivo, the racing heart, underpinning performance under a stylish exterior. But what we have in the Junior is a front-wheel drive mild hybrid crossover. Some purists will hate this idea, but it's not the first time Alfa Romeo have used a front-wheel drive model for their flagship cars, so it shouldn't really come as a surprise. This is a brand that's in survival mode, and the small SUV is what sells right now, and Alfa need that to keep the lights on and help fund the fun stuff. But does the Junior have enough cuore sportivo to keep the Alfisti's hopes alive? I really like the front end styling. I think it looks classy, it looks pointy, and it looks sporty as all Alfa should in my eyes. The 3+3 headlights are a hark back to the 80s when Alfa had their Alfa SZ, and that's the first time we've ever seen a number plate in the middle of an Alfa. Cool. Down the side, 17-inch alloy wheels. Now this is the base level car. If you go to the Ibrida Intensa, you get a deep privacy glass here, and also you lose the plastic trim. That's all paintwork, and you get bigger wheels. They go up to 18-inch. The grille is also different. You get the Scudetto in the middle of it, which some people may like, but personally myself, I like this old writing. It's a hark back to Alfa Romeo's racing heritage, and that to me is a winner. Now the back of the car is a complete contrast to what we saw in the front. The front's edgy and sporty and trying hard. The back's nice and simple, nice and clean. Yes, there's a roof spoiler, there's also a boot spoiler, and there's a serpent actually on the side before you even get to the back, which Alfa have almost hidden away too well. Around here the lights work well, the Alfa emblem is lovely, and you'll notice a reversing camera there. The base model doesn't have that. It just has parking sensors as standard, but we've got the technology pack on here, so you get a reversing camera. The back of it though, the whole shape, reminds me of an Alfa Sud from the 1970s. If you've never seen one of those, Google it. Iconic. Okay, so far, pretty nice. I'm definitely seeing some classic Alfa design elements in the silhouette that really makes this SUV stand out from the crowd. That's why people buy Alfas. They look special. But I really need to see if this thing drives like an Alfa. So as we're driving along the road, the first thing you notice for me is a similarity towards the other Stellantis vehicles. It's got the same engine, the same 3-cylinder engine that we've seen in the Peugeot 2008 and in the Jeep Avenger. So you can watch that Jeep Avenger video if you click the top right of the screen just now and see a review on that. But as we drive this little car, it feels lovely, it feels quite sporty, and I do like to play about with my drive modes, as you're very much aware of. So I've gone for dynamic because we've got DNA as drive modes, which is quite nice for Alfa. Dynamic, we've got neutral, and we've also got advanced efficiency, which is one that you want to have for saving a little bit of fuel. But in dynamic, it does feel good. I'll push the manual button for my gear selector as well, which takes me to the paddles on the steering wheel. And these are so much fun. To click up and down the gears, it's a nice short, sharp, snappy gear change, and it actually handles really well. Feels quite planted, feels quite firm, and you get that nice kind of feedback through the wheels, back through the steering and back through your bottom, which means you do feel connected to the road you're driving on. Right, some stats for you. This car, it's got a 3-cylinder engine, which is 136 horsepower, and it's got a 48 volt battery. Now, it's not a battery that lets you drive on pure battery mode. This battery is the mild hybrid form which just supplements your power. So if I ask for a whole heap of throttle when I'm in dynamic mode, it comes in with a bit of battery power. It's an extra power source, and it works really well in any mild hybrid that you drive. And you've also got regen braking, 3 stages of regen braking which put power back into the battery for you. The Alfa engineers also claim that they've tightened up the suspension to make the drive that little bit more firm. And I think they're right. Not a lot, but just a little bit more firm. Okay, let's talk about acceleration. The 0 to 62 figure, the one that everybody wants to know. 8.9 seconds in this, that's 2 seconds quicker than the Jeep Avenger. That's still more than enough to get you where you want to be and to have you accelerating and passing cars quite safely. But if you're looking for proper performance, out and out speed, pin you to the back of the seat acceleration, you want to get the Junior that is the top of the range EV, the Veloce. 5.9 seconds 0 to 62. You will definitely feel that in your neck. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in here, which you can connect to wirelessly, a great feature which every car really should have. And you get a free subscription for a period of time to Alfa Connect. Now that's an app where you can remotely start, remotely lock your car, and it also gives you an upgraded voice assistant inside the car. This is a cool one, ChatGPT. So you could ask it a question like, hey ChatGPT, what are the deals like at Arnold Clark just now? At Arnold Clark, you can find over 20,000 new and used cars online and in stores across the UK. And with the best deal guarantee, you won't need to look anywhere else. It's nice in here. I like the steering wheel. It fits my hands perfectly and it's got a really nice feel to it. When I go into the manual option for the gearbox as well, the sporty paddles let me feel like I'm in a bit of a race car, and there's a really nice quick gear change there. They've got real physical buttons, which is good. It's also very similar to the Jeep Avenger and the Fiat 600e in here. You've got two 10.25-inch screens, one for your driving, one for your infotainment in the middle there, and you've also got the wireless charging mat in this car as well, because we've got the technology pack. But there's just something missing. I wish they'd given it a little bit more flair in here. There's so much attention to the outside styling of the car. They've just missed a little trick in here and it feels just a little bit too neutral. But remember, this is the base model. You can spec it up. You can go for the Sabelt bucket seats, which come at a cool £4,000 extra. Now into the back, the simplicity does continue. You've got comfortable seats for the kids and there's a USB-C charger down there. You can up-spec to more USB-Cs by changing the level of car that you get, but you might struggle to fit 3 fully grown adults in the back there. It might be just that little bit too snug, especially because the centre console does go back into that cabin. Into the actual boot, you've got 415 litres of boot space, which is more than enough for this car, and it's quite big for its class of car as well. Now we've got the base model, but because we've got the technology pack, we get a power-assisted tailgate, and that's a bonus. Let's talk about pricing, because this base model of Junior starts at £28,000. The equivalent Peugeot 2008, it starts at £32,400. So you could actually spec this car up with the technology pack and the special seats and just be a little bit over that Peugeot asking price. Not bad actually. Remember though, my beloved Ford Puma, it starts at £26,500, but that's the base model. It all really depends what you want. Do you want to drive around in a Ford? Do you want to drive around in a French Peugeot? Or do you want a bit of Italian flair in the Alfa? Some of the driving safety features that you get in this car as standard on the base level, you get excessive speed warning, you get adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist. Put on the technology pack, you get lane centering as well with adaptive cruise control, blind spot detection and traffic sign recognition. And you all know how much I love adaptive cruise control. But is that really what Alfa drivers are now looking for? I don't think that many of the vintage GTV drivers would lament the fact that their car didn't have lane keeping assist. But it's 2025 and the world has changed and Alfa need to adapt. So, is this the right direction for Alfa Romeo? This will split opinions. The hardcore Alfistas will cry sacrilege. A Stellantis produced B-segment SUV is not what Alfa Romeo was born for. But in reality, without cars like these, there simply is no Alfa. The Junior has enough oomph to differentiate itself from its Stellantis cousins. It may also appeal to the urbanites who are looking for a compact SUV with hybrid features and Italian design flair. But I want to know what you guys think. Does it have enough racing heart to carry it forward? Get yourself down to an Arnold Clark, get behind the wheel and test drive one. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me. I'm Duncan Vincent, this is the Arnold Clark YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And until next time, safe driving.